Much harsh criticism has been leveled against Islam for permitting polygamy by the people who are hostile to the creed. What they fail to understand is that the concept of polygamy in Islam is and was an option and not an obligation. Islam does not enjoin polygamy, rather sanctions it to meet the requirements of the society. If West were to follow Islam in this respect, it would have solved the problem of destitute and helpless women who could have become members of decent families, and the prostitution and immorality could have effectively been stamped out. And these are not just my words. These are the words of famous Western thinker and playwright Dr. Bernard Shaw, who advised to the people of Europe to adopt polygamy in order to save Europe from inundation of adultery. Another Western thinker, Macfarlane, says in his book The Case for Polygamy, and I quote,
"Whether the question is considered socially, ethically, or religiously, it can be demonstrated that polygamy is not contrary to the highest standards of civilization. The suggestion offers a practical remedy for the Western problem of destitute females. The alternative is continued and increased prostitution, concubinage, and distressing spinsterhood."
Since the topic of polygamy has been the favorite topic for the critics of Islam, the so-called seculars and liberals have maligned the topic to the extent that its impact can be felt worldwide. And it's very unfortunate that today's so-called modern scholars have even succumbed to the propaganda. Here are the words of Annie Besant, what she thinks about polygamy and how it can end the problems that the Western society is facing today. And I quote,
"There is pretended monogamy in the West, but there is really polygamy without responsibility. The mistress is cast off when the man is weary of her and sinks gradually to be the woman of the street, for the first lover has no responsibility for her future, and she is 100 times worse off than the sheltered wife and mother in the polygamous home." When we see thousands of miserable women who crowd the streets of Western towns during the night, we must surely feel that it does not lie in Western mouths to reproach Islam for its polygamy. It is better for a woman, more respectable for a woman, to live in Islamic polygamy united to one man only, with the legitimate child in her arms surrounded with respect, than to be reduced, cast out on the streets perhaps with an illegitimate child outside the pale of law, unsheltered and uncared for, to become a victim of any passer-by night after night, rendered incapable of motherhood, despised by all.
Dr. Billy Graham has also criticized Christianity for not allowing polygamy and has praised Islam for being honest religion to allow polygamy and solve the problems that are in a society today. And I quote his words,
"Christianity cannot compromise on the question of polygamy. If present-day Christianity cannot do so, it is to its own detriment. Islam has permitted polygamy as a solution to social ills and has allowed a certain degree of latitude to human nature, but only within the strictly defined framework of the law. Christian countries make a great show of monogamy, but actually they practice polygamy. No one is unaware of the part mistresses play in Western society. In this respect, Islam is a fundamentally honest religion, and permits a Muslim to marry a second wife if he must be strictly forbidden all clandestine amatory associations in order to safeguard the moral polity of the community.